Good evening, people, and welcome to Football United TV. This is our Premier League weekend show, and now it's time for that famous intro. Good evening, people, and well, put it this way: I hope you're enjoying your bank holiday weekend, what's left of it, that is. Everybody say it's been hot, but where I am in Bristol, it's been absolutely freezing me tits off. Anyway, I've got a special guest here today. It's my brother Richard. How you doing, Rich?
I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Good.
You know, we've
Evening,
enjoyed the
people.
yeah. Just been busy at home. That's all I've been doing. That's what I've been up to. But you know, that's it. But enough of that. Let's get on to the football.
Yeah,
Let's see what
let's
we
go
can.
for it.
Right. Crystal Palace 4, West Ham 3, Rich. This is obviously the first game. This game, I want to talk about what a game this was. You know, in the first half, you know, it was literally fantastic. West Ham obviously taking the lead, and then you know Crystal Palace coming back, scoring. You know, it was like three. Then it was 3-2 in the first half. You know,
Yeah,
unbelievable first half, chances after chance. Absolutely, this game was a joy to watch. This was a typical English game of football, in my opinion. And obviously, with the final score being 4-3. Uh, Basically, what I want to do, I want to sum your views up of this game, and also West Ham. I know they lost this game, but did they go down fighting? And also, I think they might have a. I know they're still down towards the bottom, like relegation wise. But do you think they can mathematically? Do you think they can survive and
yeah.
actually
I think,
not go down the
yeah,
bottom?
yeah. I mean, talk about survival first if you want. I think West Ham got enough there now on the board and everything to stay up. Yeah, I watched this game. Funny, I was in Ashton Gate Saturday and I caught the second half. Half time they showed the highlights at half time, like, and it was obviously Palace was in control, weren't they? Obviously, you know, but yeah, credit to West Ham. They made a game of it. They went down with a fight, and you know, you've got to show a bit of spirit like that. You know, you lose by a goal like that, but their heads never went down. They got their heads up, they had a go, and that's a positive to me. You take that into your next game. But yeah, fair play to West Ham for what they've done, and you know, good win for Palace as well. I mean, Hodgson done quite well there, only since he's gone back there, had a few wins under the belt. It went very good there this season with Vieira there, but Eve come in the frame down. Yeah, they've took right off. But yeah, good game for the neutral.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, I mean, obviously with West Ham scoring 3 goals, I mean that's brilliant within itself. But do you feel slightly that West Ham they've got poor defence, haven't they? Really poor defence, West Ham this season, and they
Yeah,
seem to be letting goals and in the gaps. Like the other teams, the attacking team can exploit those gaps and obviously getting on the end of those things and scoring goals.
yeah,
But that's the way how it goes really. But to be honest with you, Palace. Now you mentioned about Roy Hodgson there. Roy Hodgson, as we know, is an interim manager until the end of the season.
this season, yeah,
So who they're going to bring in next season, I don't know. But there is rumours coming out of Crystal Palace that if they bring in a manager, like a slightly younger manager, let's
they
say, I
want
don't
to.
know, 40, mid 40s, something like that, they're on about Roy Hodgson staying there full time. so he can actually work with his with the new manager basically,
Yeah,
and he's got so much technician going on. You know, he's tactic wise and a brilliant managing footballing brain sort of thing. What do you think of that?
I don't think it that much. To be honest with you, I think Osh's 75 now. He's done his bits and all that and everything. So yeah, I just reckon he'll stay to the end of the season, sort of thing, and they get somebody new and that'd be it. I don't think Osh's gonna stay there. He's come back now and I think done a great job. I think it'd be freshened up for somebody to come in there and take the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just seem to see on that one. Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next game. Right. Let's go on to Bournemouth now. This game, well, it's like what I said, it's been unbelievable games on the weekend that we've had, you know, it's high scoring games, you know,
Yeah.
sort of thing. This one, Bournemouth. Obviously in the first half, I believe obviously Bournemouth was actually winning 2-1 at half time in this one. And then obviously Bournemouth scored second, you know, 2 goals in the second half. One of them was that Semenyo, who got the last goal at the last minute goal for Bournemouth. Obviously, a good signing from our team, Bristol City, from the Championship. Yeah. He hasn't been playing us in such.
No.
You know, like hardly that. Why do you think that is?
My personal opinion is I reckon they bought him, to be honest with you, because obviously, you know, Bournemouth is in a bit of a relegation scrap, and I reckon he's going to use him for a striker next season in the Championship. But because they had a couple of strikers, that Kiefer Moore out there, wasn't it, and a few other players but yeah, I reckon he'll get going now next season and everything. He might get a good run in the side and he might start scoring. But yeah, so done well though. Come on, though, didn't he? What, last 10 minutes? Quarter of an hour, he pulled himself about a bit, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, really good. And also, you've got to take in consideration with this Bournemouth team as well, the money and the financial. You know, they haven't really got a lot of money.
I mean, I looked at their home games out, and they're averaging 10,000 a season as a sellout. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you know, I had this one down for a high scoring game because obviously Leeds have been shipping a lot of goals in the last 4 or 5 games, haven't they?
They have been, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I did expect Leeds, to be honest with you, to. I thought they might have gone there and played for a point and got a point or something, knowing that, you know, they was playing Bournemouth. But yeah, I didn't expect them to get ruled 4-1, if I'm honest with you.
No, I didn't tip it to be 4-1. I think I tipped 2-0 Bournemouth, but you know, obviously the way they've been playing fantastic. You know, obviously Gary O'Neill's got that team sorted out, you know, and also the way they play, it's like they can also pick up a result out the bag. They could pick one out the bag, even against the top teams. I mean, you look at us. We were 2-0 down to them going back like 5 weeks ago, and we come back and won 3-2. They've even beat Liverpool 1-0 just before that. So you know, it makes you think what they're doing there. Do you think the Bournemouth manager, Gary Neville, do you reckon he could be a candidate for manager of the season?
He could be a candidate, but I don't think he'll get it. I think that the 2 managers, one of the 2 deserves it, I think, is Eddie Howe at Newcastle. I think he's done a great job this season. He got to the League Cup final. I think they'll finish 3rd in the league and everything. And the Brighton manager as well, I think he deserves a bit of credit for what you've had to work with there and stuff. And, you know, he got to a semi-final of the FA Cup. They're doing well in the league. So I think there's a couple of managers just above him. He's done well, Mike, don't get them wrong, but you know, but again, if Man City wins the treble, if they do, everyone's going to say it's Pep, isn't it?
But then again, I mean, with Gary Neville, there's money being there is a rumor at Bournemouth that there might be some a considerable amount of money being injected into the team next season. So if it was, what would you expect them to be? Where certain areas of where do you think Bournemouth needs to improve? You know, in certain areas.
When you're a Championship club, you come out. I think the first thing you've got to do is sustain your defence. when you're playing against bigger sides, like your Liverpool's and your clubs like Bournemouth, Man City's, United's, and Arsenal's and clubs like that, you've got to sustain them. You've got to work on your defence. I think that's the main priority: is get your defence right, get your defence sorted, and then you move up the field from there. But I think that's where they'll have to strengthen next season. Bournemouth is maybe 1 or 2 in defence.
Yeah. Do you think they've got their? Do you think the points they've got now? Do you reckon that's enough points to stay up, or do you think they need at least win one more game?
Nah, I think they're. I think, to be honest with you, I think the league shaped out. Obviously, there's a big game tonight down at the foot of the table, Everton in Leicester, in it. But I think Southampton's gone, and I reckon Leeds will go, and I reckon it might be Everton. I reckon Leicester will get out of it.
Unless we get out of it, yeah. Well, that was the next thing I was going to go on with Leeds. Do you think they're going down? But obviously, you just clearly said it. In my opinion, I think it's obviously Southampton. I think are going down. I tipped Forest to go down, and it's either between Everton or Leeds. It'd be one of them two, but more likely it could be Leeds because I think Sean Dyche might, he might twist something important to captain Steve. Like the last 2 games of the season. So, it's always that to look forward to.
I think Forest got it where they can like nick a 1-0, 1 or 2 1-0s. I think they got to play Southampton again, Forest. I think they got is it Leeds again? Well, they got 2 teams down there. I think in their remaining fixtures, and I think they're both in. I might be wrong, but if they're 6 pointers, if they obviously win them 2 or get us a draw and a win, I think they be safe. But I think there's the amount of goals at the moment, leadership, and then you can't defend like that. I mean, Luke Ayling said the same yesterday after the game. He said they're defending and everything, and all over the park was absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed with Bournemouth as well. I noticed that we've mentioned that he scored the winning goal for Bournemouth. But he scored the winning goal for Bournemouth. But your team is not the only team with the players Anthony in it. Also, Bournemouth is, and he actually assisted that goal as well. Can you see Anthony? Do you see him as a key factor for next season in that Bournemouth team?
Yeah, I can see him playing a big role in that Bournemouth team next season. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right, that's right then. Well, okay, on to the next one. Going on to the Newcastle and Southampton game. Right. Well, this was quite a shock actually because with my team Arsenal, as we knew, we drew 3-3 with Southampton. Did you feel that Southampton could have won this game? I mean, obviously, Southampton was 1-0 up at half time.
They
were winning 1-0, and obviously Newcastle hadn't scored. You're thinking, why me? What's going on here? It's in the Saints, get up and beat Newcastle. But obviously they didn't. The score was obviously Newcastle came back and scored 3 goals in the second half. Which is fantastic by them. And obviously the scoring 3 goals in one half against Southampton, which pretty much everybody seems to be doing, apart from my team this season. But I felt it was good. What were your thoughts on this game, Rich?
Well, it was a game of 2 halves, wasn't it? I thought Southampton started off well and knocked the ball about and got a goal, didn't they? Went 1-0 up at half time, and then obviously Eddie Howe must have obviously had a few words at half time, and it seemed like Newcastle come out a complete different side. They got the equaliser, and then that was it. It was all Newcastle. Then Southampton had 1 or 2 chances, but I think Newcastle, to be honest with you, looking quite good at the moment, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, definitely.
I think they're doing pretty well.
What? They're scoring goals as well, not just winning like 1-0 or anything like that. They're actually scoring like 3-4 a game at the moment, aren't they?
Well, yeah, even 5 if you count the Tottenham game, 5-0 up in 20 minutes, But
20 minutes,
yeah. How do you feel? Like you said, Eddie Howe, obviously to be the manager of the season, he's a candidate for manager of the season this season. But how do you feel next season. I mean, but what can you see him producing at the team and that, and and you're this season as well. You've got third and fourth place, obviously between Man United and Newcastle fighting third and fourth place out. But who can you see getting that spot, the third spot, and also what do you think is in store for Eddie Howe for next season?
Third spot, I think. Don't know, see, because Newcastle still got players, haven't they?
Yes.
So you never know with that one. I think that third. At the moment, I would say on current form and results, Newcastle. I think they're playing well at the moment. So I'll probably go Newcastle just to edge that. But yeah, I think Eddie Howe next season. I think he'll have a good season next season. Obviously, if they finish third and they get in the Champions League, when you get recognised as a Champions League side, like you get a lot more attraction from bigger players. That's what they want nowadays is Champions League football and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think Newcastle contract one or two good players out next season. They'll have another good season, and I think Eddie Howe will as well. I could see him being there for a while. Actually, to be honest with you, you can see what he's doing. He's building the side. Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? So, but yeah, he's gradually getting it going there, and cut more acquisitions to the team and everything. I think they'll be a very good side next season. And they got the fan base as well. They got a good ground. They got the fan base as well. So I'm predicting Newcastle to do well next season, definitely.
No, definitely. I'm looking back on it, and obviously with the owners that they've got, Newcastle, and I find that obviously with the money they've got there, is unbelievable. And I could put Arsenal and Manchester United in this equation. And it feels like at the minute in time, it feels like Newcastle might win a Premier League before Arsenal and Man United does.
You never know. And football is a crazy game. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, they can get 2 or 3 acquisitions in the team next season, and they could be a very good team. They could be title challengers. Yeah, I can't see why not. I think the Premier League this season has been a bit poor, to be honest with you. I mean, take the Man City out of the equation. Arsenal got up there, but I think there's a lot of teams in rebuilding at the moment, like Newcastle. They're sort of like restructuring the team with Eddie Howe coming in last season, whatever, and then he's got to get his balance his team and get players in. Man United, another one, Ten Hag. He got a lot of work to do there in the summer. He decided he was going to get rid of and stuff. Liverpool's cutting new signings. Chelsea. So a lot of teams are in transformation at the moment, like, but yeah. Probably that's the best thing for Newcastle this season. These clubs are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they got to tidy up, haven't they? Because I could see Newcastle getting that third place. Obviously, playing Champions League football next season. I thought, fantastic achievement. And for the amount of time that he's been there, what he's done now, is it 18 months? 18, 19
something
months?
Like that, yeah, something like that. Even there.
He's just come in. It was people. I suppose people were a bit worried what he can do at Newcastle, but he's just proved everybody wrong. And I got I think the Newcastle has been absolutely fantastic this season. I think they've been a joy to watch. The players.
It's an entertaining football as well. They've got some nice little wingers out there. Maximum, who's like an entertaining player, and he sort of like gets you on the edge of your seat when you're watching him, and he's cutting in and weaving in and out of players, very direct with the ball. That's the sort of football what we grew up with and got used to. Not many of them about today, is there?
No, Almiron in midfield, next to him, he's been absolutely brilliant. Trippier, fantastic boy, experience, right wing back. Yeah. And also, what's the other one? Is it Botman, the centre back? I think he's been absolutely fantastic. And Hope, the goalkeeper as well. I think he's been coming on.
He's done well, which is good, really, because it gives Pickford a bit of a kick up the old, for England as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I think he's had it's Pope in it, their goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I think he's had a good season. He's done a couple of silly things like rushed out his area and. But regardless of that, shot stopping and stuff, I think he's Yeah, I think there's going to be competition there for the national side as well within the goalkeeper because he's done really well.
Yeah. Do you think they need to? Do you think that they need more up front, Newcastle?
Um, I, I think they've got a goal scorer there, and Nat Wilson. I mean, he scored two yesterday. I thought he played really well yesterday. I think if he could start him every game, because sometimes he's on the bench and he comes off, don't he?
Yeah.
And all that. I think I mean, he got, was that his 15th or 16th goal this season yesterday? I mean,
Yeah.
he don't start every game, but, you imagine if he started every game now with 15, 16 goals on off the bench all season. If he had a full season in him, if he could be on 25 by now, you never know. So, but yeah, I think they attract some there next year. Obviously, a lot of these big clubs in Europe likes to come to teams as in the Champions League, and I think if you've got guaranteed Champions League football, you get the bigger names coming to you. So yeah, it would surprise me if you see a lot of somebody at top next season for Newcastle. They got the clout, haven't they, to go out and buy them and all that. Like. So yeah, they'll be thereabouts next season. I think they'll be a very entertaining side to watch like this season, but a little bit better.
Yeah. Can you see him getting Kieran Tierney from Arsenal next season?
Kieran,
Kieran Tierney, the left back for Arsenal.
yeah,
Can you see him
the one you got from Celtic, wasn't it? Is that the one?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know, to be honest with you, man. He's quite injured all the time, isn't he, Team? He's got a very bad history of
Well,
injuries, hasn't he?
he does pick up the injuries every now and then, but the trouble is though, there is Arsenal fans that don't want to lose him.
No, he's
Newcastle.
quite he's quite a basic, fullback, to be honest with you. I mean, does his
Yeah.
job, doesn't he, and stuff like that. He gets stuck in, and he old-fashioned fullback. Yeah, he's a good player, like, but I all depends what happens with Arsenal, really. I mean, I don't think he's going to want to sit on the bench if he's fit and play second fiddle, is he? So you never know. He might put a transfer request in and think, well, I want to be playing first team football and everything. And if he wants to go to Newcastle, then he could go to Newcastle, can't he?
Yeah. Well, he was our captain at one time, as you know, and
Yeah,
people kept most of the Arsenal fans were calling him Captain Fantastic, but
yeah.
no, it doesn't look it. But anyway, I'm just going to go without a few comments. There are some comments in.
We've got some comments on our way.
Yeah, Bobby K, he's in the house. We got Bobby K.
Hello, Bob. All right, mate?
King Sir, yeah, big up all. Warm here in London, mate.
Minus 4 in Bristol.
It is absolutely cold here in Bristol, and that's no joke. We got Solo in the house. The man. Good evening, my guys. Good evening, Solo. I hope you enjoy your bank holiday weekend. And also we have Matt with his smiley face. And also Matt is saying hello, fellow DJ. Obviously, that's the Solo. And Matt is Bobby K. Big up, Bobby. And Matt giving us a scoreline. Everton's winning. They're beating Leicester City 1-0.
I'm wrong.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Rich?
Big goal. Long way to go. Big goal, but both. I don't think a draw does no side either favours. I think both sides got to go for the game and win the game and everything. So, yeah, early days, good start probably from Everton, but never know in the game of football could turn around or whatever. But yeah, predicted me wrong because I just said they'd go down, didn't I?
Well, yeah, you did, and I did as well, and either Leeds, them or Leeds. But now this is where it gets interesting because Matt's now just put in the chat saying it's now 1-1.
Oh, was it?
Yes, yeah. We don't know who got the goals line, but everybody's keeping up to date with the Leicester and Everton game. But yeah, I feel I think this game has a few goals in it. Definitely have a few goals in it.
A draw for either side ain't a good result there. I mean, in the end of the day, it's important you don't lose the match, but I think at the end of the day, both once obviously teams got to win these sort of games in this relegation fight. When you're playing the scrappers down with you, you've got to be looking at 3 points, haven't you?
Well, you have, yeah. I thought with Everton, they've got nothing. They ain't got opportunities up front. I thought they got new strikers. Calvin Lewin's always injured.
He's on the
Maupay, they bought from Brighton. Well, I just think he's absolutely he's rubbish.
But they gained a few quid Everton, didn't they? Because they sold that player to Newcastle, the young one. What's his name? Gardner, is it?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, they sold him and everything, and a couple of other players. They gained a few quid, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong, quick, but it looks like they haven't done nothing with the money they've recruited.
No, they haven't. No. Well,
Mm.
obviously we know who it was, but it was Frank Lampard that obviously recruited the Everton players this season, wasn't it? And
Yeah,
then sacked, but you know,
I know they sold a
no-
couple of players, right? But
obviously gone back to uh, Chelsea, and also he's put in the chat. Oh, Albert scored the penalty. He's actually playing well. I find out. Oh, right, well, he's playing tonight then. I think he hasn't really featured a lot for Everton though. Obviously, like what I said, you're with injuries and that, and I know he's been keeping on the subs bench warm a little bit, but yeah, I mean, if he's playing well, I'm going to take your word for it, Matt. I was
see,
obviously,
we was both wrong there. We was both wrong there, Ant, in 2 minutes. I said Everton's going to go down. He went 1-up, and you said Calvert Lewin don't play, and you scored. So we're both
yeah,
wrong again.
yeah, but yeah,
What do we know?
well, it is what it is, isn't it? Really, I mean,
Yeah, that's it.
obviously, it's getting towards the end of the season. These teams that's down, they know they've got to do something about it. But
Yeah,
it makes you think sometimes these teams like Everton, where they're so low down, why do they leave it so late in the season?
yeah, yeah,
To do this sort of thing, But I mean,
yeah.
I think go on.
I think Southampton will go down, but I think the what's it, second and third bottom. I think I might be wrong. But I think that might go down to the wire, to be honest with you, to the last game of the season, because that's going to chop and change. I think from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, let's throw another game into the works. Throw another game into the works.
Go on
Obviously,
then.
you're a Man United fan. Obviously, you had
Hundred
Aston Villa
percent.
and 1-1 nil. You know what, Rich? I am going to give you the floor on this game. You talk about Manchester United? I want your thoughts on the game, the goal, and also um, was there any players from Man United that stood out, and what was the players that didn't stand out, in your opinion?
I think obviously Bruno, obviously Fernandez got the goal. I thought he had a good game and everything, but defense, mixed up defense. They looked all average. And I think Villa had a few chances and whatnot, but I got to be honest with you. I predicted our game yesterday. I thought it'd been a hard game for United yesterday, and it wasn't an easy game, obviously, but the way Villa have been playing in the last couple of weeks, they've been on a good little run, and was it 5 or 6 games, something like that, undefeated, like so.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was pleased with the result. I didn't really care about the performance. I was honest with you. Now, sometimes at this time of the season is about the result and not the performance that counts. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And I think that was the game yesterday for United. They done what they had to do, and yeah, that Martinez in goal, he helped us out a bit. I think with the goal, did he come rushing off his line
yeah,
and whatnot, But yeah, pleased with that 1-0 own clean sheet. We needed 3 points. We got the 3 points. We're still in fourth, so yeah, that's the main thing to me. It wasn't the best of games, but we got the results. And this time of season, sometimes you forget the performance and you just take the result. So I think that's what I was pleased with Jesse's with a clean sheet and a 3 points.
yeah,
On
yeah.
to
I
the
can see
next.
that.
On to the next. Brighton. Is it Thursday?
Thursday night you have Brighton, yeah.
Thursday
But
night. Yeah.
obviously,
Another
still
tricky
talking about
game.
this. Yeah, still talking about this Man United and or it's not Aston Villa game. Obviously, good win for you, 1-0, scoring a goal and keeping a clean sheet. But I expected more. More from this Villa side because the way Unai Emery has, how he's got this team, and ship shaped, and they're playing really good football at the minute. He's turned them around. Top, I think even though they lost, I still think they're in the top six. I haven't seen the table, but
Yeah.
they got a chance of Europa League this season. But the only thing that surprised me is how Unai Emery has got Ollie Watkins, how he's playing. He's been absolutely brilliant for Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Obviously, his work rate is unbelievable. He does score goals. I think obviously he's probably Villa's top goal scorer. And
Yeah,
but I was very surprised that he didn't get a goal in this game. I was really expecting more from this, Aston Villa, but obviously it wasn't. But it is what it is. But I feel that you had a good result, and that's moved you up to, well. Obviously, you're still in fourth now, but you got I think there's a game in there's going to be a game in hand soon or something like that. So,
yeah.
and
I
I
think
feel
that's
that
Thursday.
your goal difference as well is a bit poor this season as well for a team, for a top four team. Your goal difference is quite poor, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been, I think when you look at United this season, the games they've won, they haven't. How can I say it? They haven't won by a big stat of goals. They might have nicked it 2-1, 1-0, but a lot of it as well, where our goal difference is not very good on the plus side, is because we've conceded too many as well. I mean, the
Yeah.
7 against Liverpool, beginning of the season, the 4 at Brentford, 4 at Brighton. I think that's dragged our goal difference down, but we've not been scoring a lot of goals. We go out and smash somebody 4, 5, 6 now. We haven't seen really none of that this season, so we're pretty sure it'll come now next season when Ten Hag has a good look at his first season and realizes what you've got to get out and get in, stuff like that. So I'm looking for a pretty better season next season from United. But yeah, it's one of those things at the end of the day, you've got to start from scratch, and that's what we're doing. So defense could have been better this season. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with Martinez, and I think he's shame he got injured for the back end of the season. I think he's been an exceptional player at the back for us. But yeah, I think a lot of it is been a few goalkeeping errors from David De Gea and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah. I think some people said that it was David Gea. They were some of them said that he was man of the match. Either
yeah, he
him
made
or
a few good
Bruno
saves. Yeah,
Fernandes.
yeah,
Who was your man of
yeah.
the match in that game?
Um, Hard to say really, but I'd probably just edge it with De Gea. He made a couple of good blinding saves and everything like that. So yeah, I'll probably go with David De Gea, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
he's funny goalkeeper is. He can produce something fantastic. A save from 6 yards out, which is going straight in there, and he can save it from 30 yards out. A little grass cut, and he gets beat. He's a very strange goalkeeper.
yeah, yeah, he is. Yeah, I noticed when he first signed him, and that he always got beaten at his bottom left or his bottom right hand
Yeah,
corner.
yeah, yeah,
I think a few managers picked up on that, and they were training him, well, obviously in training, to obviously get down towards the bottom part of the goal net more. But there's a few more comments. I'm just gonna put in a couple of comments in there. Kingside's game. What would happen to everyone? New stadium plans? You think? I think he's on about the. Hang on. What would happen to Everton's new stadium's plan? Do you think? Well, did you want to answer this one, Rich? Obviously, because Everton they've got plans to build a new stadium,
yeah.
but the way they are at the minute, I think what Kingside is saying is, if they do go down, do you think that most probably put the plans on hold? And obviously, with the money that they've got, could that put Everton in a bit of financial crisis as well?
Well, you never know, but it could jeopardise the new stadium. Or to say because we don't know what the finance is in backing of Everton Football Club. But if it did happen, it wouldn't be a surprise because obviously if they come out in the Premier League, that's a major blow for that.
Yeah,
and the gate. I mean, if they did come down, and this stadium goes ahead and everything. When's the stadium due to be complete?
I don't know. I don't know if they've got the. I know they've sent off for it, but I don't know if they've been given a date
Yeah,
yet back or anything like
no,
this.
right.
For it to.
But
I don't even know when it's starting. But I mean, you could look at that. I mean, obviously the plans has been set. Obviously, they've sent off for it. Obviously waiting for an answer. But in the position that Everton are on in a minute. I mean, how would you feel? I mean, if you was the owner of Everton, what would you do? And you was in this, would you put your plans on hold?
I probably will freeze them. Yeah, I'll probably freeze them to the end of the season. Think, well, let's see where we're going. If the club goes down and everything, you've got to mathematically look at the financial figures and what you're going to lose. To be honest with you, like you said, with parachute payments and stuff, and it'd be very tricky for Everton. So I will probably freeze that and see how Everton do this season.
Yeah, you see if they go down. If they went down to the Championship, could you see Dyche still being there as a manager and trying to get them back up to the Premier League? Basically, do like what Vincent Kompany's done with Burnley. Can you?
Yeah. I think Dyche should stay there because I'm not being funny. He's no disrespect to Burnley Football Club. He got Burnley up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And so he's been down there. He took a club up to the Premier League.
No, I don't think he did. Was it Owen Coyle who was the manager at Brighton?
Yeah, but they went down. They went down again. They went down. Burnley didn't come up again.
Yeah.
But, I might be wrong, but yeah, I think Dyche on out there. Everton. I think he'll stick that contract out. Obviously, if they get relegated, but it all depends if Everton want to keep him. That's another thing, because he might obviously look at wages and think of that most clubs do, and when he gets relegated from the Premier League, gets rid of the manager, they got to get a cheaper manager because they got to look at the budgets, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
So, but I think he'd want to stay there. If they went down, I think he'd want to do his best to get them straight back up in the first season. He's not he hasn't won nothing as a manager. Like, you know what I mean? He's no FA Cup winner or League Cup winner or anything like that. He's just an average manager of a football club. And I think he'll want to stay at Everton, but it all depends if Everton are wanting there.
Yeah, true. Also, Rich, I've got another comment coming up because obviously you can't see them. Everton versus Leicester. There's been another goal in this game.
2-1 Leicester are going.
2-1 Leicester. Who do you reckon got it then?
Steve Walsh.
No.
Let's go for the old. Is the old man up top Bardi playing?
Yeah.
I'll go in.
You go in.
Yeah.
You bastard. Right.
Right.
Yes, it's 2-1 Leicester. Jamie Vardy's got the goal. I'm expecting another message in a minute saying 2-2. But it sounds like a good game, obviously, to like that's going on there, sort of thing. So,
that's what Everton's plans on for next season, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Big win that. If Leicester rolls on that tonight, that's a big 3 points for them.
Massive 3 points. Right, we're going to go on to the Liverpool and Spurs game, Tottenham game. Obviously, as we know, Liverpool winning 4-3. I'm just going to talk about this the game first, Rich, and then we'll talk about Jurgen Klopp after. Just a brief talk about Jurgen Klopp after and what happened. Obviously, Liverpool played Tottenham. My opinion was I thought Tottenham was absolutely poor in his first half. 3-0 down. I think it was they was 3-0 down within the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, something like that. When it's 15, 16 minutes.
Yeah, and then obviously Harry Kane pops up and scored a goal, didn't he, to make it 3-1. And then the first day was just absolutely dire. And then for some particular reason, the second half, it all changed. It all went to Tottenham, and I thought to myself, I was absolutely surprised for Tottenham to get back in the game and make it 3-0.
Yeah, I was as well.
Obviously, as you know, Liverpool player Jota coming up and scoring the winning goal. But I felt like let me just get your views on this game first.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Liverpool, I did fancy Liverpool to win this one, unfortunately. But they started off really well. Like we said, it was 3-0 up. Was it 15, 16 minutes, something like that? Yeah. But I honestly thought, be honest with you, I thought Tottenham was going to cave like they did with Newcastle at half time the other week. I thought it was going to be about 4 or 5-0 down. that did enter my mind. I thought that, but obviously got an half time. King got one back and everything, and then they got the second. And when they got the equaliser, it was like sort of like slow motion header, went it into the net, and it went in there. And I thought, what was it, 94th minute that Richarlison scored?
Richarlison, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that obviously, nobody in the month of Sundays would have predicted there was going to be another goal left with 30 seconds left after kick-off when they scored the goal. But then obviously it happened and that was it. But I thought, I don't know, you look at half-time, you think Liverpool was worthy winners, and then you look at full-time, you thought Tottenham deserved a point. But it was a bit of a strange one, that finished last minute or two there. But yeah, I mean, we spoke earlier on about defences. You look at Leeds and stuff like that. There's a lot of teams that are conceding goals at the moment. Tottenham's one of them. Leeds is another. And I think Tottenham's defending at the moment is absolutely, is diabolical. It's schoolboy defending that, isn't it? If you're going to defend like that, you're going to get punished, and they have. To be honest with you, they've been punished the last couple of weeks. They've been conceding goals.
Yeah, Rick, it's up to you, but I don't mind. You know me, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I do Gunners Small Corners, and I do this show. If you want to see Spurs are shit, you're more than welcome to see their shit. Seriously, I give you permission.
I think Spurs are shit.
Oh, right, okay, very good.
No, they are. Don't get me wrong, even though I'm a United fan and all that, I'm a big fan of Harry Kane. I like Harry Kane. He knows where the net is. And you see the look on his face. He do give sometimes 100%. And when you got your teammates not performing around you, and you see his face like against Newcastle and yesterday when he was 3-0 down, I feel sorry for him. I do actually feel sorry for Harry Kane. He's the only thing I like to do with Tottenham because he's England. He's a good scorer for England and stuff like that. But I think whoever comes in there again, that's another manager's job up for grabs there. And I think they got a very big job on their hands. Whoever comes that team next season, very big job.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to see two things here. That obviously the first one you mentioned was about Harry Kane. Now with me, this is where we're both, me and you, we're both different on this. I think Harry Kane's a good player, right? But I don't think he's world class. This is just my opinion. I don't think he's world class. I mean, I know, like, he's got his record for Tottenham and the Premier League, and then he got his with England in that as well. But I just think there's something about him. I don't think he's. I think he can score more goals if he was actually in around that 18-yard box. He seems to come back, and then but it's just.
When you're a striker and you're up there like him, and your team like yesterday, I'll take the first 20 minutes as an example yesterday at Anfield. You're 3-0 down. You're getting nothing up top because it was all the ball was in Tottenham's after the first quarter.
Yeah.
You're going to come deep for the ball because you want the ball. You want to come into the game whether you're 2-0 down, 3-0 down, whatever. You still want to come into the game, and that's what he does a lot. He comes deep and all that, and he drift left, he drift right, whatnot. But yeah, I like him. I think if you put him in any Premier League team, whether it be Man City, Arsenal, United, Chelsea, I think he'd get you goals. And he'd get you 20 goals, 25 goals a season, that shall have a doubt. But
But
go on.
Well, I was going to say you're saying that, but you said Chelsea. But there is talk that the ex-Tottenham manager Potts could be lined up for the Chelsea job, right? And also, if that is, it's a possibility that I've heard that Harry Kane might follow him to Chelsea and play under Pochettino. Can you see that happening at all?
No, I don't. Thing is, a lot of people say about this Poch and what everything. Oh, Poch this, Poch that, Poch this, Poch that. What has he done? Yeah, one good season. He was losing to Ajax in the Champions League semi-final. He took Tottenham to a Champions League final. They played Liverpool. I think he got beat, didn't they?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Paris Saint-Germain, but there's one club in France, and that's them. He got there. He got the boot and everything. What's what's he done?
Yeah,
To
I know.
me,
But there
I
was
think
rumours he couldn't get through. He found players hard, like obviously Messi and Neymar and Mbappe. He couldn't get through to these three players. Everything he was trying to say to them in the team, they wouldn't listen to him, and it caused a bit of a friction there at PSG. And obviously, I think that was the reason why that was the part of the reason why he departed at
yeah,
PSG. But he's but it'd be nice to see him back in the Premier League. I think to be honest with you, with your team, Man United, obviously when Ralph Ragnick when he was gone, fans at Man United wanted Pop to come in to manage them at Manchester United, and obviously that didn't happen. You got Ten Hag, but that was there was a few people wanted Poch at Man United, but
yeah,
I think he is a good. I think he is a good manager, and I think he can get through to players. But like when you've got top quality players, when you go to the likes of that, PSG, you've got Messi and all that. Depends what you like as a person, individual. If they're going to listen to you, they're going to listen to you. If they're not, they're not. But
yeah.
obviously, come out of there, obviously, PSG and get back into the Premier League, like. But listen, this is what it's all about now. I want to go on to Klopp, Jurgen Klopp, and he was out of order, Rich. Can I get your views on that?
Well, I didn't know nothing about this. I mean, I watched the game night, and then obviously I sort of like switched off from it. And I watched Match of the Day last night, and I seen his interview on Match of the Day, and what he said about Ryan Mason and stuff like this. And I think it was over a red card. I've seen the replay now. Was it John or one of them did an absolutely terrible challenge, and it was a red card or some, and that's what the Tottenham manager was moaning about.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think it was a bit disrespectful, Klopp, what he come out with there. But
yeah.
I
I
laughed.
mean,
I laughed because when Liverpool got the winner, he pulled a hamstring. Do you see it?
yes, I saw the hamstring. He was running.
Yeah.
He pulled the hamstring. He was like, I did. I tell you what, I did laugh at that. I'm not being funny, and
I
I
did.
suppose quite a lot of people did laugh at that as well.
I was
But
expecting the referee to come over and be like that, saying I've got to go to VAR.
VAR for his hamstring, yes,
Mm.
yeah. But no, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. I knew about the
Mm.
hamstring, but I didn't know nothing about this. I think when the game finished, I think what was it? I think I went. I think I turned over. Um,
Yeah.
straight after the game and watch something else. And I missed all this, but I can remember the hamstring incident. Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, if,
Mm.
if if that's like what you're saying, if he is bang out of order, if that's what he's done, it is bang out of order. But
Yeah.
you know, um,
Thing of the Jurgen Klopp, and I've said it all along. I'm going to condemn him. I think he's a good manager. He's proven that. He won trophies at Liverpool. He's done well there. But sometimes you've got to set the right decision, and he can't when it comes to his players and his club. He can't.
no,
He can't steal the truth for nothing. He likes it. It's Klopp's way or no way with him.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And also, do you think Spurs, Tottenham, do you think they're being Spursy again, being like typical Tottenham?
Do you say Spursy or Spermsy?
No, those are Spursy. Right.
Oh, right,
So
sorry. But yeah, well, yeah. I mean, nah. I think the season can't end quick enough for them out. To be honest with you.
well, yeah. I mean, the reason why I said are they being Spursy again is because they're well, they seem to be losing a lot, and they seem to be moaning left, right, and centre, and coming up with excuses all the time, and all these excuses why they're actually losing games.
Thing is
Okay?
with Tottenham, they always start off well and they run out of steam.
Yeah, no, this is true. This is true.
Mm.
But then again, it's like what I said. They where can you see Tottenham finishing this season?
I reckon they're slightly a little bit more. I can see. I think Villa finish above them,
Yeah, yeah,
and I think Brighton will as well.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, not
I
be
could see.
funny. Brighton after that 6-0 hammering again. Well, I think 6-0 after that 6-0 drumming they did against Wolves. Sorry,
Maybe,
that was
maybe
fantastic.
Liverpool. maybe Liverpool as well, because they're up around that pack now, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, so you never know. It could be like it's eighth, seventh, eighth finish for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they're going, the teams below are going. Brighton's picking up points. Villa's picking up points at the moment. Liverpool won. Is it the last four now? 3-4 Liverpool won. Drawn
Yeah.
1-2. Yeah, so I reckon. Yeah, well, they could be in for a bit of a crash bang. Well, Spurs, I think you might be looking for about a seventh or eighth.
Yes. Right. Right. Well, we come on to our last topic now. Last topic of the show. Player of the weekend, Rich. Have you got a player of the
Ooh.
weekend? Who's your player of the weekend and why?
There was two on there. I thought that what's his name yesterday, Jota had a good game for Liverpool. But my player of the weekend, I'm going to go for Callum Wilson. I thought he was absolutely sensational second half of Newcastle's game against Southampton. You know, Southampton couldn't cope with him. He was running the line properly. Two nice little finishes. Could have had that hat trick if it didn't bounce on the crossbar twice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he played really well second half. Yeah, I'm going to go for Mr. Wilson for my player of the weekend.
Right. Okay. Fine. Well, I'll tell you mine.
Go on,
And
Ed.
my player of the weekend, you're gonna be what? And you never really pretty much hear him playing good games and that sort of thing. I'm gonna go for Brighton striker, ex Man United and Arsenal striker as well, Danny Welbeck. And the only reason being was because he scored 2 goals in that game, and also he assisted a goal as well. And when you actually look at the highlights of that game, and that was the only thing I saw was the highlights, Danny Welbeck was everywhere. His work rate in that game was second to none. Literally,
Very,
it reminded me of like Jesus. You know, in the penalty box, running into the penalty box around players. He had a few shots on goal. Obviously, he scored 2 from them. Assist one as well. I just thought
yeah,
he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was one of Brighton's um best players on the pitch, but obviously attacking wise.
yeah.
But yeah, I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
Thing is with Danny Welbeck, I mean, I've obviously remember watching Man United when he played at United 9, 10 years ago. Now he left on it.
Yeah.
Went to you lot on that. But Danny Welbeck is a very underrated player. You know, he does a lot of work off the ball. He does a lot of work on the ball, and he's a goal. I believe the injuries he's had, if obviously put him down, because I think if he could have stayed injury free of some of these injuries he's had, I think Danny Welbeck could have been a very good player. And I still think even at his age now, what's he now, 30, Danny Welbeck?
Yes, he's no, he I think he's about 30, 31 now, Danny Welbeck, yeah.
Yeah. I still think if he'd just been injury free, he'd have been knocking
Yeah.
on England's door as well. Because when he's fit, I think very underrated player, good player. And for his physique, I know he's a bit tall, but he's not got a lot on him as well. He's quite a strong player as well. He's always like him. I mean, when he left you lot and everything, I thought, well, they've had a few good seasons out of him. He went to
Yeah.
Brighton and he's getting on with his football. So let's hope really from his behalf he can stay for fit. I don't want him to score for his night mind, but
Oh no,
yeah,
I think he built like yeah. Depending who they play up front, but you know, I think if I think he will give you problems Thursday night.
yeah,
Danny Welbeck. I really do because in your defence you've got that Martin. It's like what you said, Martinez. Now what a defender he is, a centre back. You know, he's not very tall, but he gets in there, he gets stuck in, he does a job.
yeah.
And obviously,
I
being
like him.
injured out for the rest of the season is a main blow for you. But
Yeah,
it just seems like your problem, Man United's problems, is up front. When I say up front, all right, Anthony Martial, he does, his work rate is not too bad, but you know, he's not literally a prolific goal scorer. Weghorst, I, well, just,
signing
I just keep.
signing of the season.
Yes, right. Okay, time of the season. I just think he's a bench warmer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and
He is.
then your defense at the back. But I think you give Maguire if Maguire plays. Is Maguire playing in that game? Do you reckon?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I
He's not
won't
injured
play
or
him.
anything, is he?
No, I don't know. But I know you get injured in the warm up, not the last game before. But if it was me now, I'll go with the back four we start on Sunday
What was that?
against Aston Villa.
Was that Wan-Bissaka?
Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Luke Shaw centre back, and Dallo left
Left
back,
back.
whatever
Yeah,
you call it, wing back, whatever you call them nowadays. But yeah, I'll go with probably the same defence as what he did on Sunday against Villa.
yeah, yeah. No, true, true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But it is what it is. But I think it'd be a hard game. I mean, the FA
Yeah,
Cup game. In all fairness, when you beat them on penalties, they did give you a good game, Brighton, didn't they? So
they did. They was a better side. I thought the first quarter and the second half, I thought it was phenomenal.
yeah,
First half they played well. The extra time was at chopping, changing end to end. But
uh,
penalties is a lottery in it.
yeah, that's right. Well, I got to be honest with you, Rich. That's it now. That's the end of the show. And well, I just want to say thanks for everybody who's watched the show. Make sure you press like. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. And that's it from our Premier League weekend show. And everybody enjoy your bank
Hit that
holiday
like
weekend as
button as
well.
well.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.